this star. 27 light years away. Rather distinguished star, LHS 2520. That's its name. I got a phone call. Who was it? Representatives from DC Comics. They said, we're sketching out one of our comics in which Superman visits the Hayden Planetarium. Will you give us permission to show to illustrate the Hayden Planetarium in our comics? I can't believe that. Sorry. Not in front of the So, we said, sure. I mean, how could you not stay over there? Then they said, do you mind if we portray you? And I said, well, what am I doing in the camera? I said, no, you're helping Superman. That's what's the least I can do. I'm not helping Superman. And they said, well, Superman, we want him to come to the planetarium and look through telescopes or your computers and see Krypton. And in this episode, or this, whatever you call it, this edition of the comic series, he will see Krypton destroyed. And that would be a sad moment for him, because all his life he would have known that this moment was coming. And I said, okay, but I could hook you up with like a real star. That would be the home star of Krypton, his home planet. I said, how old is Superman? Because he left as an infant, remember, Moses style. He was sent off in a basket as an infant. And he landed on Earth as an infant. So he was not traveling for very long. So either he was moving at near the speed of light, or he traveled through a wormhole. In either case, he'd get here very quickly, relative to his own time clock. The problem is, if he comes near the speed of light, the destruction of his planet will be ahead of him. And he would not then later on see the destruction of his planet. He's got to get here ahead of the light beam. The only way he can do that is through a wormhole. I told this to the guy. He said, well, let it be a wormhole then. I said, what? So I said, how old is Superman? He said, well, he's eternally about the same age, even though time moves forward. I said, how old is he? He said, late 20s. Okay, so I thought, I'll get back to you. Checked the catalogs, found a star, 27 light years away. I said, here's your star. Let's make that the star that Krypton orbited. That he would then come to the planetarium and see destroyed. He said, oh, where is that on the sky? Again, I told him where it is. It's in the constellation Corvus, the crow. He said, that's good, because in Smallville, Superman's high school mascot is the crow. And so, ladies and gentlemen, in October 2012, a comic appeared with Superman identifying an actual star in the actual sky around which Krypton in the comic book series is to have orbited. And it is this star on the night sky. And we are looking back in time as this was 27 years ago. And I'm doing that with Superman right here. So Superman descends into the Hayden Planetarium. There's a staff there, and I come in a little, a moment later, make my entrance. Thank you, Lisa here. But our guest is a busy man. Let's let him do what he came here to do. Okay? Oh, Dr. Tyson. Tonight at All Night, Superman. Please call me Neil. Okay. Apparently, Superman is coming annually to see Krypton, and it's been okay in previous years, but this year he suspected something was wrong. Again, we're looking back in time. And we bring something special tonight. Usually, the best we can do is draw inferences from fluctuations of starlight from stars in the Corvus constellation. But this time, data and telescopes all over the world are being fed right here. All over? That must have been a huge effort. Please, after all you've done for the world, the whole astrophysics community felt it was the least they could do. And in interviews that unfolded after this, they said, how did it feel helping Superman? Like I said, I'm a lifelong resident of Metropolis, right? You gotta help the man out. He's been helping us out all this time. And so, people wrote in and said, boy, they gave you a really cool vest for this comment. I said, no, this is mine. I'm not this vest. That's an accurate vest. For those who are interferometrically fluent, we created a worldwide interferometer with every telescope in the world, combined the images together. I said, we don't have a supercomputer to do this, and one of my staff members said, that's okay, we don't need a supercomputer because tonight we have Superman. And so he leans over the computer, and his brain power goes into the computer, and combines all the world's telescopic data into a single image, and on the dome, he views the destruction of his home planet. And the very last scene is Superman holding his head down. And someone commented that at that moment he needs a hug. And Superman needs a home. So it's something he knew was true all along. The time delay made it real for him when it finally actually got to see it. That's a very long excursion, and just to continue to remind you that the universe is a time machine. This is 7,500 light years away. We see this as it was 7,500 years ago. This is the center of the Milky Way galaxy, countless stars. We see this as it was 35,000 years